we have had some breaking news that we want to talk about. The breaking news is that Candace Parker, the WNBA legend, the Tennessee Lady Vol legend, has officially announced her retirement, guys. Now, this is official. She did re-sign with the Las Vegas Aces, but as of today, and as of actually 17 minutes ago, she has announced on Instagram that she is officially retired. So, guys, we're going to talk initially, we're going to talk about Candace Parker, her legacy. We're going to talk about that to start off the show, and then we're going to move on to talk about the Chicago Sky. But Candace Parker is truly one of the legends of the game, like absolute legends of the game. And Mom, I'm a little bit shocked, kind of.
I am too because she just signed or re-signed with the Aces. Um, so I'm a little shocked that she did not make this announcement prior to signing. I think that probably would have been a little bit better for the team if she had signed last week. I mean, if she had retired last week prior to re signing with the Aces. I think it's going to put them in a different position. Yes, she did not play much last year for the team, but they were expecting her to play this year. And I think they were going to need her this year. But her making this announcement now is probably best for those that are the rookies that are coming in, um, so that they'll figure out how they're gonna use these other players now. Uh, Candace was a force to be reckoned with, so to lose her is a big deal.
Yeah. It's a big deal for the game of basketball. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big deal for the game of basketball. And guys, I do want to read out what Candace put on Instagram. So here is her letter that she put on Instagram. She said, I know you're going to miss me. I'm retiring. I promise I'd never cheat the game and that I'd leave it in a better place than I came into it. The competitor in me always wants one more, but it's time. My heart and body knew, but I needed to give my mind time to accept it. I've always wanted to walk off the court with no parade or tour, just privately with the ones I love. What now was to be my last game. I walked off the court with my daughter. I ended the journey just as I started it with her. The off season hasn't been fun on a foot that isn't cooperating. It's no fun playing in pain. 10 surgeries in my career. Wow,
Mm,
10 surgeries.
wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It's no fun knowing that you could do
Knowing what?
knowing what you could do. If only. It's no fun hearing she isn't the same when I know why. It's no fun accepting the fact you need surgery again.
Mm,
I fell in love with the little orange ball at 13 years old, and because of it, my world goes round. The highs are unmatched, and the lows taught me a lesson. On and off the court, I'm proud. I've always been true and stayed true to me, even when it wasn't popular. I'm grateful for 16 years I played a game for a living, and despite all the injuries, I hooped. I'm grateful for family, teammates, coaches, doctors, trainers, and fans who made this journey so special. And she finishes off with today's players enjoy it. No matter how you prepare for it, you won't be ready for the gap it leaves in your soul.
mm.
Forgive me as I mourn a little bit, but I'll be back loving the game differently in a while. And then she finished off with some lyrics. Wow, what a like beautiful way to talk about her retirement.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that she used her own words, how she felt, what she's been through, what the game
Mm-hmm.
itself means to her, and to know within yourself, physically in your soul, okay, I don't want to give it up, but I need to give it up. I
Mm-hmm.
need to give it up because of what my body is going through, but my mind is not ready. But my body is saying I can't do it anymore because I want to be the best. And if she can't be the best, she said, I don't want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that from her. I appreciate her speaking to her fans, her friends, I know she spoke to her. I'm sure she's spoken to her teammates before she literally put this out.
Yeah,
I'm sure
likely.
she did that.
Yeah.
But Becky Hammon is probably mourning as well as she is now. But at the same time, she understands that when a player says they can't give any more, you have to accept that.
Yeah. And this is just the end of an era.
Mm-hmm.
So she mentioned in the post that her foot was still an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is something that she was dealing with last year. Last year she only played 18 games. Candace Parker played 18 games. She played the first 18 games of the season. She got hurt and was out the remainder of the season. Yes, she did win a chip with the Las Vegas Aces, but it wasn't the same because
Right.
she wasn't actively able to contribute. She was on the bench, sort of talking to players and trying to motivate the team that way, but she couldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that had to have like hurt her in a way of like being on the team but not really being able to really contribute to winning. And with her foot not cooperating and her maybe needing another surgery or like something like that, it's a little bit too much for a player who wants to be the best like her
Mm-hmm.
to deal with and be like, oh, I'm gonna get another surgery and cause my team to be without me for a long time when they could get somebody else. I can announce my retirement, then get somebody else in there, and then they can win. I know for sure that was extremely hard for Candace
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like I kind of grew up as a Candace Parker fan. Like you know, um, ever since I was younger, hearing about her at Naperville and balling out of control. Then she goes to Tennessee, balling out of control, um, and became one of the best players to ever play the game.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely one of the best players. Now, guys, I was actually making um, a Las Vegas Aces training camp preview video that was actually supposed to come out right after this video is over. But it actually can't go out anymore because the information's wrong because I talked about Candace Parker being on the squad. But here's some of the stats, guys. Just to talk about Candace Parker and what she has meant to the game of women's basketball. Just in we're just going to talk about her in the WNBA. So she won 3 championships with 3 different teams. The first player ever to have done something like that. Here's some more Candace Parker stats. She played 16 years in the WNBA for 16 seasons. She is a 2-time WNBA MVP. She is the only player in WNBA history to have won a MVP of the league, and Rookie of the Year in the same season. Mm-hmm. She is a 7-time All-Star, 7-time first-team All-WNBA. She currently stands at 9th in WNBA history in career points. She is 3rd in WNBA history in career rebounds, 2nd in career defensive rebounds, 7th in career assists in the WNBA. And guys, she was a post player, 7th in the WNBA in assists. Like that is huge, absolutely huge. Because not only was Candace a great post player, who could get some points in the paint, she's also a player who can get her teammates involved.
Right.
She was always a good distributor. And she's 7th in the WNBA in that. 3rd in defensive rebounds per game. Candace Parker is women's basketball royalty. She is. And I thought she was going to enter into what would have been her last season this year. But she has announced her retirement now, so we will not see her play for a 17th year. Last year, she finished off the season with 9 points a game, 5.4 rebounds a game, and 3.7 assists per game in 18 games played before she went down with an injury. So yeah, that is Candace Parker, an absolute legend of the game of women's basketball. Mama, you got anything else to say about Candace Parker?
The only other thing I would say, I think that other players may need to look, other veteran players need to look and see, is it time for me to go? Have I reached the end of my magnificent playing time. Because we all know as we get older, as I'm getting older, you realize that there's a time when a part of your life is over and you have to move on to something else. And when I say move on to something else, this is her career. But yeah, in general, we know when it's time that we can't do what we've done before to the best that we've always done it. And we want to be the best. We don't want to. I'm happy for her that she did not come into this 17th season and play a game or two and then had to sit down and say, I'm injured, I got to have another surgery. I'm so glad she didn't do that. I'm glad that she recognized that she may still have to have that surgery, but it may be an elective surgery because the surgery that she was going to have was so she could play basketball. But if she doesn't play basketball, she may not have to have that surgery. She may put it off to a later time when she feels mentally ready to do this, to go through us, because surgeries are not easy, you all. Those of you all that have not had any surgeries are not easy to go through. And to go through, I think she said 10 surgeries over the course of her career, that's a lot to go through in order to play basketball. That is a lot to put on your body. So I'm just glad for her that she says, I'm retiring, that nobody forced her to retire. She says, I'm retiring. She made the decision. And that's the best thing in the world, when you can make the decision on your own and not be forced to do it.
Y'all, Mama is spitting facts, y'all. Can y'all hit that like button for Mama, please? hit that like button for Mama, because she said something very important. The fact that maybe, just maybe, some other veterans in the game should maybe consider, when is their time to pack it up, because you can't play forever. Your health will not sustain you for forever in terms of playing basketball. Of course, you're gonna have a great full life,
right?
Doing, Candace is gonna be perfectly fine. She's gonna be on TNT, gonna be sitting at the desk, laughing with Charles Barkley and Shaq and all that stuff. Candace is gonna have a good time, right? And a lot of the players in the WNBA, everything's not over once they actually pack it up and leave the game of women's basketball as a player. So the thought is, will we see any other players hang it up and retire? Honestly, I don't think so this season. Like, I don't think we're going to see any additional players that will retire. But I will say, there are some other players that really should be also considering retiring, because, the other good thing that I thought was really great about Candace announcing it now is the fact that she still went out relatively on top.
Yes.
Because we still remember the season that she had with the Chicago Sky, and how she really did carry us to a championship.
Yes.
And then she goes to Las Vegas, and then she stays for another season, tries to bring it back, couldn't do it, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. Candace Parker was still Candace Parker, and goes to the Aces, plays half the season, but the half of the season that she did play, Candace was Candace,
right?
And so she still left out at a high clip in her basketball career, and I think that's important. You don't want to you don't want to wait until you're like bruised and battered and you're like can't really do anything, can't really run, can't really do anything, but you're still playing because you don't want to give it up. And then that's what people remember you by,
right?
But we still remember Candace by like her being absolutely fantastic.
Yes. Like, who could stop her?
And guys, it's pretty fitting that on my shirt, y'all see Candace Parker on my shirt. It's very fitting. I should have put on my Candace Parker jersey for this one, but yeah, it's this is going. Now I will say this one thing: this is, if you are one of the rookies on the Las Vegas Aces, you now have a chance.
Yes,
you now have a chance.
to fill that spot.
So yeah, because they have Elizabeth Kitley. Elizabeth Kitley is injured for this season for the Las Vegas Aces, and we're gonna see who else can actually make the squad. There's a chance that Jackson State's own Angel Jackson might actually have a chance of making this roster. She's 6'6", can play the center role, can play a power forward role if she needs to. She's defensively very good. At first, I didn't think she had a shot at all in training camp. Now, I'm wondering, does she have a shot? Maybe, maybe not. King Pisces says, sometimes it's time to pass the torch and let these young players play.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's straight facts, King Pisces. Straight facts. Carmela says, like the video, y'all. Yeah, y'all, listen to Carmela and hit that like button, y'all. We got 190 people in the chat, but only 59 likes. If y'all could hit that like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, folks are saying that Kate Martin will make it. It would be great if Kate Martin makes it.
Yes, it would be.
Before this, I actually thought, because guys, again, I basically had my video ready for the Aces that I now can't put out. But for that, I actually had Kate Martin making the roster. I actually do have Kate Martin making the roster, even before Candace Parker announced her retirement. So yeah, Kate Martin, I think, has a really, really good shot because she really is an all-around player. Not necessarily a post player. She's small forward, but she can play the post if she needs to. She could do a power forward for a little bit. But guys, that concludes our talk about Candace Parker, because the point of this stream was actually to talk about the Chicago Sky, but because of the breaking news, we had to push it back a little bit and talk about Candace Parker first. So is there any last minute Candace Parker related stuff that you guys want to say in the chat? Nola says Angel Reese is the next Candace Parker.
Okay.
That is huge company to be put next to.
Yeah, she got a lot to live up to.
I would say it's kind of unfair to put that on Angel Reese. Nola, I get what you're saying, but I personally think it's unfair to say anybody is the next Candace Parker. Candace Parker is one of one. Just
hard to be in her company.
Just one of one. I mean, maybe the person who kind of gets the closest is Asia Wilson. But
okay.
But other than that, I think it's kind of unfair to put anybody in the realm of Candace Parker that's currently playing, not past players, but players that are currently playing. So yeah. Disagree with you on that one, Nola. Though Angel Reese is very good, but not Candace Parker. Adrian says, shout out to Annie Constable for her story. Yeah, guys, she did write a story about I don't know how. Okay, here's the thing that I don't understand. How in the world do some of these reporters have a story out ASAP? I don't get it. Candace Parker just announced that she was retiring, and Annie immediately put up an article about it. I'm just like, what? Y'all, people be fast. But I just dropped the link to Annie's story in the Sun Times. Check that out if y'all want. But yeah, I don't get how they be so fast. These reporters, man. I don't know. Was she just did she know that this was going to happen or something? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You saw a lot of articles. ESPN wrote an article. I saw Annie wrote an article. I'm pretty sure there's some other articles that are already out right now. And she just announced, guys, this is not a thing that she announced a long time ago. She just put this out 46 minutes ago. So I'm just, I don't know. That's a random thing for me. All right, guys. Ronald says Angel is going to blaze her own trail. Yes, she is. Yes, she is going to blaze her own trail. Yes, she is. And I'm very much looking forward to that.